Okay, before we go any further, yes, the irony is not lost on me. I used to be a cam girl, and now I give relationship advice. I know, somewhere a podcast bro just choked on his protein shake. But here's the funny part. If you really think about it, who accidentally did more field research on male psychology than a woman who spent years watching men talk, flirt, posture, project, overshare, lie, confess, and emotionally unravel in real time? Exactly. Listen, some people get degrees in psychology. I got a front row seat to the male psyche with tips. I learned very quickly that men will tell you who they are when they feel unseen, when they feel powerful, when they feel insecure, and especially when they think they're anonymous. I saw the bravado, I saw the loneliness, I saw the ego, I saw the need to impress, I saw the need to be chosen, and I realized something most women don't get taught. Men are not complicated, they are just deeply motivated. Motivated by admiration, motivated by respect, motivated by how you make them feel about themselves. The irony is, the job people might judge the most is the job that taught me the most about boundaries, emotional detachment, male desire, and the difference between attention and actual investment. Spoiler alert, attention is cheap. Consistency is expensive. And when you've seen thousands of men perform for validation, you start to understand the difference between a man who wants access and a man who wants connection. So yes, former cam girl, now giving relationship advice. But if you think that means I know less about men, oh honey, it means I probably know more than I ever intended to. And now I'm going to teach you so you don't have to learn the hard way. Hey beautiful people, and welcome to my channel. Today we are talking about something that might ruffle feathers, but it needs to be said. In a healthy, lasting relationship, a man should like you a lot more than you like him. Not because you play games, not because you manipulate, not because you're cold, but because of polarity, investment, and human nature. If you've ever been the one over-giving, over-texting, over-explaining, over-functioning, this episode is for you. Let's get into it. First, let's define what this actually means. I'm not saying you should be indifferent. I'm not saying you shouldn't care. I'm not saying you should chase someone who's obsessed with you while you feel nothing. What I'm saying is this. In a stable relationship dynamic, the man should be slightly more emotionally invested, slightly more pursuing, and slightly more afraid of losing you than you are of losing him. Why? Because the one who is more invested protects the relationship. When a man feels he won you, when he feels lucky, when he feels he had to rise to meet you, he values you differently. And people protect what they value. Let's talk about why this works. Men are wired to pursue, to compete, to earn. This isn't about outdated gender roles. It's about drive and dopamine. When a man pursues, invests, plans, calls, initiates, and earns your affection, his brain attaches reward chemicals to you. The effort creates emotional bonding. If you've ever noticed that the more you give to someone too soon, the less they seem to value it, that's not coincidence. Attachment often grows through investment. When he invests his time, energy, money, emotional vulnerability, his attachment deepens. But when you overinvest early, when you chase, when you overfunction, you remove the space for him to bond through effort. And then you end up feeling more attached than he is. That imbalance is where anxiety is born. Let's be honest, most women are conditioned to overgive. You like him, you imagine a future, you start adjusting. You start accommodating, you start hoping. And suddenly you're initiating most conversations, rearranging your schedule, making excuses for red flags, and afraid to speak up. When you like him more, you subconsciously lower your standards to keep him, and he feels it. Energy is readable. The dynamic shifts from "I'm choosing you" to "please choose me." And that shift changes everything. He relaxes, you tense up. He leans back, you lean forward. And now you're in pursuit mode, which breeds insecurity. Now let's flip it. When he likes you more, what does it look like? He initiates, he plans, he follows through, he reassures without being asked. He makes it clear you're wanted. You don't have to beg for consistency. You don't have to decode mixed signals. You don't have to perform for affection. You feel safe. And safety is the foundation of feminine radiance. When you feel secure, you soften. You glow. You're playful. You're relaxed. You're not scanning for threats. And ironically, that's when attraction deepens. Men thrive when they feel they've earned a woman who still has options. The subtle edge, that "I'm choosing you, but I don't need you" energy, is magnetic. Now, I want to be very clear. This is not about pretending not to care. It's not about delayed texting strategies. It's not about emotional withholding. It's about self-containment. It's about having a full life. It's about not over-attaching to potential. When you are grounded in yourself, your purpose, your friendships, your standards, you naturally don't over-pursue. You allow him to show up. And if he doesn't, you don't spiral. You simply adjust your access. That calm detachment is power. Here's the truth many women don't want to hear. If you constantly feel confused, anxious, unsure where you stand, you like him more. And instead of trying to make him like you more, you raise your standard for access. You don't beg for clarity. You observe behavior, you match energy, you reward consistency. The right man will lean in harder. The wrong one will fall away, and that's a win. Because you don't want a man who tolerates you. You want a man who feels lucky. So let me leave you with this. You should not have to convince someone to value you. You should not be the one dragging the relationship forward. You should not feel like you're auditioning. Let him pursue. Let him invest. Let him show up. Your job is not to chase. Your job is to be worthy of choosing and selective about who earns that access. When a man likes you more, not obsessively, not unhealthily, but genuinely and deeply, he protects what he has, and that changes everything. If this resonated with you, share it with a friend who needs to hear it. And remember, never compete for a position you were meant to be chosen for. I'll see you in the next episode. If you would like one-on-one coaching, the email is in the description box.